Hello everyone. This morning I'm just going through, waiting for Alright, prices traded beneath the 8:30 opening and midnight opening. On the hourly chart, I was looking at this gap. Seems like the order block could have been used, but order flow seems to be bearish on a higher time frame, which is okay. I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest, towards what my model is. It used to, but I'm switching back to my first trading plan that I started with at the beginning of the year, the 2025 model, instead of trying to try something new. Because I already have data on that plan, and I'm just going to continue gathering more data. If I have too many losing streaks, then I just improve it. It is what it is. But I could see potential delivery to sell side liquidity down here. It seems like with what Asia did, and the fact that we took out these lows, came back up, pulled back, and then continued lower, shows me that maybe there's potential to reach down for those lows. What I would need is a 5-minute short-term high above 8:30 open, or 5-minute short-term low beneath 8:30 open. Midnight open I'm not too concerned with because it's at the high of the day. And 1800 o'clock open I'm even less concerned with. There was a short-term low taken out, but it also took out liquidity, so I wouldn't really want a long. I've seen this happen before where we do take out a short-term low and it's after taking out some significant liquidity, so I don't really want a long here. If I were to have shorted at 9:30, because it did kind of take out a short-term high, this is just too much displacement, so I wouldn't want to short either. But for the sake of it, there was a nice fair value gap there. It's just hard to tell sometimes if it's a sweep or it's really displacing higher. So yeah, I chose. I wasn't even on the chart anyway, but I wouldn't have participated in that. Now, all I really need is to see maybe 1 or 2 candles on the 5-minute chart trade higher and sweep back down beneath them. At any point in time, if it does that beneath the 8:30 open, I'm gonna go long on the 1-minute chart. Or I'm gonna look to go long on the 1-minute chart. Otherwise, it's staying out today. And real quick, I'm gonna scan the other markets. I want to make sure. So this is actually good because the Nasdaq, Dow, and S&P seem to all be moving in the same direction. So this is really good. I like this. It's a good market condition. Gold, having a fun time. Going back to those all-time highs. And we have Bitcoin, all-time highs, made 120k almost. That's pretty cool. And I'm waiting for the dollar to start to trade back higher. And when we do, I think we'll have favorable conditions to be trading in. That's next year. We still got some time. There seems to be some divergence in the bonds. So this is the, which one is it? T-bond? Which one is that? That's a 30-year. This is 10-year. Yeah. Definitely something fishy going on with the divergence. I've said what I wanted to look for, and now I'm just gonna wait to see if anything changes. I'll update, and otherwise, yeah, I'm just gonna cut out. We're in the same situation here where 9:30 has swept lower, but also swept higher now. Again, taking the high and the low of a specific range. So I don't really see this as a sweep I want to go short on because we've already taken the form of liquidity down here. And then therefore I'm just gonna elect to wait. There's still just no valid 5-minute short-term high or low that has been taken out, so I'm just gonna wait still. Now in the past I would have probably seen this short-term low and tried to short. I've done things like this before where I'm gonna show. Right, got it. So something like this, right, where we're going up quite a lot, we leave a little bit of a sideways candle, with nothing too established lower, and then we trade above it. So something like this, right? The reason I'm not taking this sweep, I'm not wanting to short. I mean, it could go lower from here, but I'm not saying it won't. It's going to continue trending higher. But the reason I'm not qualifying this as a high probability sweep in order to trade lower is because if you were to turn on the line chart, it doesn't really look like much of a sweep. Versus if you go to yesterday's setups and you look at some of these sweeps, go back to candles, they're more, how do I say, like defined. Like this is the body, that's the low. They're further apart. Body, the low, further apart. So you compare it to just like this very, very small movement, it's just not always higher probability. So especially if there's wicks on both ends, there's not much of a body, and so I'm not really gonna count it as a sweep. I mean, also another thing I'm noticing is as it's going lower here, it's leaving large wicks higher. So usually when it does that, it's also not a good sign, showing you it doesn't really want to go down. So I'm glad I'm not in a trade right now. I probably won't have a trade, and I do have to start to get ready to get going this morning because I have something I have to be at. So I mean, I don't know if I would stay on the chart and keep trading, maybe there might be a trade. But two things can happen. It can either continue going higher and eventually give a proper sweep, and you can short, or it can retrace beneath midnight open, and then I don't know why this I was back testing. Why is there? Oh, that was yesterday. Or it will retrace beneath midnight open, and then then it will sweep lower. And I would look at some inverse PD array, like inverse fair value gap or order blocks, in order to support price, see it go higher to mitigate some of these gaps up here. It doesn't have to do that though, because the hourly chart looks good. Seems like we came up to hit some of these order blocks. 4 hour, there's a fair value gap. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I don't know. I'm still okay with lower prices. I'd like to see that. Hourly chart certainly doesn't look convincing to continue going higher with the way it's gonna close. So yeah, we could also continue trading lower, pull back above the midnight open, and then sweep that way. Once we create a fair value gap, I just want to see displacement and quickly for price to trade lower and leave a fair value gap. But yeah, that's basically what I would look for the rest of the day. I'm not gonna continue trading. It is a day with no trades, and yeah. As for my model, I've been over the summer switching up my model back and forth, trying to add things, trying to change certain things. I'm going back to my original 2025 model at the beginning of the year. The only thing I'm removing is a lot of the restrictions on what days I can trade. So now I have more flexible. And I'm gonna use a bit of discretion when it comes to the range that price makes, because there was a rule where if we make like a range of over 150 points, um, I can't trade. But because of all the volatility that's been going on with the news and stuff lately, I mean, it's been doing 200 points often before I can get a trade. So it'll be pretty discretionary. All right, so it seems like the latter scenarios 2 and 3 are possible. Either we come down here, we sweep lower, and then we have a trade higher, or we pull back, we sweep above midnight open, and then we short. Those would be the two things I'd be looking at. And I could look at the higher time frame and try and figure out which one is more probable to happen. But the beauty of this model is that I don't have to go to the higher time frame. I can just chill in the lower time frame, know exactly what to wait for, and really just like check every time a 5 minute candle closes. I just look at the chart. So that's all it is.